Hello everyone, this is Stephanie, your CSA coach, and it is week 8B of our 2024 CSA season. One quick announcement, Kirby cucumbers are for sale at the farm. There's 5-pound bags for $15, or you can buy 3 bags for $40 if you want to make pickles or want to use them for a big cucumber salad or anything like that. You can buy a big bulk bag of Kirby cucumbers. Jumping right into this week's share, we have some repeat items and some new items. So we have kale. Kale is stored in the fridge in a Debbie Meyer green bag or a large plastic bag. It can be eaten raw. It can be cooked down, just simply sauteed. So use our simple sauteed green recipe or our PDF. You can do a massaged kale salad. There's also ranch kale chips on the blog or on the website, and there's also kale pesto on the website. All delicious, and I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of recipes, but lots of ideas there. Or just do a simple saute. If you're not going to use it this week, you could freeze it. You could also create green cubes with it. So options to preserve it a little bit. And the green cubes are great to throw into smoothies to add lots of nutrients. We have cabbage. Cabbage is stored in the fridge. Just throw it in your crisper drawer. It doesn't need to be in a plastic bag unless you cut it. So if you're gonna use half of it, then put it in a Ziploc bag or a Debbie Meyer green bag. This will last a while, so not something you necessarily need to use this week. I am working on a recipe to showcase cabbage in the upcoming weeks, possibly, so stay tuned for that. The cabbage is really good in coleslaw, just shred it on top of salad or part of your salad. You can use it actually as a base, just lightly dressed. We are using it tomorrow, I believe, as a possible recipe that's coming in the next few weeks. What else? You can create sauerkraut. You can, there's a quick pickling sauerkraut that you could do, or there's the long fermented sauerkraut that you can also do. But coleslaw, just roasted, grilled, lots of options for cabbage. You can also use the leaves as a vessel, just like you would like your large lettuce leaves. They're just gonna be a little bit stronger and hardier. So you can use it as a vessel for something. You can also do like a stuffed cabbage recipe. So options there. We have beets. They're either golden or red beets. These are red, but I've been getting golden the past few weeks. Very first thing you want to do is remove those top greens. The greens are edible. You can eat them raw or you can saute them down, but store those separately in a Ziploc bag or a Debbie Meyer green bag, and then your bottoms get stored in a separate bag. Beets can be eaten raw. They can be roasted. They can be grilled. They can be pickled. There are definitely recipes on the website that also make sure you go back to Monday emails that Trisha sends, because she links a lot of the recipes that apply to this week's share on that email. So really important that you read it from start to finish, because it gives you a lot of information. So beets get stored in the fridge, but remove those tops before you do anything else. We have summer squash, lots of varieties, get stored in your crisper drawer. Can be eaten raw, can be roasted, can be grilled. There's a squash ribbon recipe, like a pickled squash ribbon, that's really good. I think I have like a relish on the recipe website. You can use it as a boat and do like a stuffed squash. You can shred it and use it in baked goods. I know if I'm not gonna use it this week or next week, I typically wash them, shred them, measure them out, and then freeze them so that I can throw it into chili or throw it into baked goods later in the season. We have cucumbers. Cucumbers also get stored in the crisper drawer. Super easy to use, just slice them up and serve them as a snack. You can serve them with our dill dip. You can pickle them, you can add them to salad, or you can make a cucumber salad where it's just cucumbers and onions. We have eggplant. Eggplant gets stored in the fridge as well. We want to keep this dry so that it lasts longer. So typically wrap it in a towel or a paper towel or a dish towel and then throw it in your fridge. Really good roasted, really good grilled. There's an eggplant dip in the recipe post. There's also, you could do a big sheet pan meal, lots and lots of vegetables this week that would work in a sheet pan meal. Or just simply like a big sheet pan of roasted vegetables that you can add to salads, add as a side, add to your breakfast. I like to do that about once a week just so that I'm using up the produce and it doesn't go bad, and then we have a side all week long if I'm running short on time. I like to also, when I get, so I still have last week's, when I get a bunch of them, I like to air fry them and then freeze them and save them to use for like an eggplant parm. So that's our eggplant. Celery. Celery from the farm is different than what you would buy, slightly different than what you would buy in the grocery store. Definitely much more flavorful, and the entire thing can be used. So do not toss the leaves at the top. There's a celery soup. It's really good just chopped up into salads. It's also, if you're not going to use it, chop it all up, rinse it, chop it all up, throw it in a Ziploc bag, measure it out, throw it in your freezer, and then it's amazing just to add to soups throughout the winter as well. So kind of go through what your recipes are going to be this week, and then take a look if you're going to use celery or not. But look at those recipes that have been linked on the Monday email. Celery's so really good in salads, pairs really well with our potatoes to do like a potato salad, or just on top as a garnish. Like you can use the leaves as a garnish. You can also make celery salt, so you can dry those leaves and crush them up and do like a celery salt. Our salad greens. Salad greens are stored just like this in the fridge. Do not wash them until you're ready to use them. They have been rinsed off, but once we're ready to use them, I take a big bowl of water or fill my sink with water, throw the greens in, swish them around, pull them out, and then throw them in my salad spinner and get them nice and dry before I dress them. Great base as any form of salad. So last night we just had a plain salad with just lettuce and a light dressing as a side, but then often I will make a big salad as a meal, so I can add the tomatoes, the cucumbers, even the zucchini, maybe some shredded beets, and then you have a full salad with, I can throw a grilled protein on like a protein on the grill, and there's our meal for the night. So that's stored just like that in the fridge. We have new potatoes. So new potatoes are not cured, so we want to store them in the fridge. They won't last as long as our regular potatoes, but can be used exactly the same way, just a slightly different flavor. So these can be baked, they can be roasted. You can make mashed potatoes, you can peel them. I generally don't. You can just scrub them down and use them as is. They make an amazing potato salad. Fantastic hash browns. You can use them in the fritter recipe from a few weeks ago, or also use that fritter PDF, because a lot of the produce this week works for those as well. But stored in the fridge. Two more items. We have our tomatoes. Tomatoes are typically stored on the counter, best at room temperature. Once they're sliced, you do need to store them in the fridge, so I like to slice them and use them immediately. If I'm only using a portion of them, which for a family of 5, really, we never use just a portion of a tomato, but I'll eat the other half just as a snack. But if you do slice it and don't use the whole thing, then store the extra piece in a Ziploc bag in the fridge, but use it within a day. But these are best at room temperature. Great for fresh salsas, which we're starting to see people post about. Just sliced on sandwiches, sliced on top of our salads, sliced on burgers. I am making a caprese salad tonight, so just sliced tomato and fresh mozzarella as a side. So that's what we're using ours for. You can also save them and make a big batch of sauce. You can do like a slow roasted tomato, You can throw them into a big pot and just cook them down and make, just season it and make a sauce as well. But we don't have a whole lot of tomatoes, so you're only gonna get a little bit. So that would work if you have a small family. Last but not least, we have tomatillos. Tomatillos can be stored on the counter. I just usually store them in a bowl until I'm ready to use them. Or if I know I'm not gonna use them within the week, I'll throw them in the fridge. They have a husk on the outside. When you're ready to use them, remove that husk, but leave it on for now. Generally, these are typically roasted or grilled and then used. Great for green sauces, for salsa verde, really good in terms of Mexican dishes, to add some flavor to Mexican dishes. But tomatillos are new for this week. So that's it for our shares. Make sure you go through what you have from last week if you're an every week member. Use up what you have from last week and then focus on our greens and then our heartier vegetables. If you have any questions, please post on the Facebook group and make sure you tag me. If you find any fun recipes that you really enjoy or that your family enjoys, make sure you post them on the Facebook group for everyone to see as well. And I will see you all and again next week. Oh, actually, next week I'm good. The following week, our live will be slightly changed. So I will see you all next week as usual.